92 was my senior year because we played them. That was my last home game in Bryant-Denny was against South Carolina. It was my last ever home game in Tuscaloosa. When I was there, we played in Birmingham too. We played back and forth. But 93 was my first time there. And then I went and visited Woody. Woody was a coach there for a year in 98. And I came up and spent a day with him and a weekend with he and Ann when Brad Scott was the head coach there. Didn't go to a game. But, I mean, I got a lot of great memories. I mean, got some bad ones too. But the crowd's always been there. You know, great. Obviously, my first game down there was the 63-17 game. That was my very first game as a coach at Clemson. And that was just a crazy game. I mean, we just hit some big explosive plays right out of the gate and kind of they got in a hole. And I've had some tough ones down there. Was it 2013? I think we had 5 or 6 turnovers. That was, and we had a really good team, but we could not hang on the ball to save our life. You know, had some good moments and some tough moments, but regardless of what's happened on the scoreboard, it's always been a great environment to go compete.
Speaking of those tough moments, that 5-game losing streak that you've had, you've brought it up a couple times this season, but now kind of looking back and reflecting on this season, how has that helped you as a coach to look back at that time that you went through adversity?
Oh, man, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I think just as a person, when you can look back on things in your life that you went through, it gives you more confidence where you are and your future. I think that's just in life in general, certainly in competition. You know, like I said, tough times don't last. Tough people do. I mean, and that was a really tough time. I mean, because it didn't matter what we did. It was, you know, I mean, we just were struggling in that game, and most of it. I think in the 5-game stretch, I want to say we had 15 turnovers to their 3. I believe that's accurate. So I mean, you know, it's take a rocket scientist to figure out, you know, like that's a problem, and especially in a rivalry game. So, and then we turned that around. And if you look at, you know, we've won 8 out of the last 10, Chapel. I know you want to create a different narrative, and we've won 2 out of the last 4. But we've won a lot of games in this rivalry, a lot. I mean, a lot. When we turned it around, you look at the turnover margin, it's different. And we either won it even. There might have been one year we lost it, but we still won it. It's been some, but it was a close game. And then last year, I think we were +1. I think that's the only time that we've won the margin and lost. And so you say, well, how did that happen? Well, quarterback rushed for 178 yards, couldn't tackle him. 2 touchdowns were scramble, unbelievable individual plays, and we had 3 times in the scoring zone and got no points. That's how you lose those games. So the turnover margin is critical, but yeah, I mean that was a tough time. I mean, because we were a good team. I mean, 2009 we won the division, played for the championship, lost the game. 2010 we weren't very good. We were tough, and we were a tough out, and we had 5 games by 6 points or less. We were in it, and we were competing. We were tough, but we just kind of learning how to win. And then in 11, you know, we won the league, won 10 games, got to the Orange Bowl, all that stuff. But, you know, it's like win 10, won the ACC. It was like, yeah, but you lost to the Gamecocks, you know. And then in 12, we were 11-2, but we lost to the Gamecocks. And, you know, had a really good team. And then in 13, beat Ohio State in the Orange Bowl. We're 11-2. I think in 13, but we lost, you know, and so it's like we're a good team, but you lost that game, and that was the game again. That was the one that just I've never really been anything apart. I mean, even all the way to the last play, we had a chance, and we fumbled it again. I think Taj had the last fumble, or Adam Humphries, one of the two, and you know, so that was a tough time. I got a lot of letters I got a lot of emails. I got a lot of letters from people, you know, and I got a lot of people that came up to me in the offseason and say, Coach, listen, I'd rather go 7-5 and beat the Gamecocks than go 11-2 and whatever. So all those people get their chance this year. So we're just trying to be an equal opportunity pleaser here. I had a lot of them people. Come up to me. So hopefully they'll still feel that way if we can find a way to win the game. My bet is they won't, but such is our life in sports.
Does it feel any different to you? Because, I mean, for so many years you've had something kind of big to play for. After the South Carolina game, you still had a big apple out there in front of you. But now, I mean, you know, whatever bowl game you end up going to, it's not what you've kind of been used to. Does it feel any different going into this game because of that?
No, I mean that's just your season. I mean we've been to 7 playoffs in 10 years, but we've been in the league championship 8 out of the last 10 years. But we haven't always been there, and we're not in. I mean, just last time we were down there, we weren't going to the championship, but we were looking forward to a bowl game, and we had a great bowl game against what was it? 23 was that Kentucky? That was a lot of fun. 21, we didn't go to the championship. We played Iowa State in the Cheez-It Bowl. That's one of the funnest bowls I've been a part of. We had a ball, had a great time. It was a fun win. So no, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in the playoff, if you're in the ACC championship game, whatever. It's all about this game. I mean, it really is. And I hope that doesn't get lost as football changes and evolves. And that's actually something that you worry about a little bit. Games like this being affected. The more things expand, and all of a sudden you've got a big game next week, or that's instead of a championship game, it's the first round of the playoffs, which is what you see in the NFL, right? And you got all of a sudden you don't play your starters or whatever. And, I hope that doesn't get lost down the road, but who knows? But for me, it's never been about, well, we in the championship next week or we're going to the playoff. It's about this game. And, I mean, I've been here 17 years, and we've had 9 – we've been to the championship 10 times in my 17 full seasons. So 7 of those years just like this one. So it's just whatever that season presents. But it doesn't change anything for me for the importance of this game and, the value of this moment. I mean, I think that's sometimes we don't realize the value and the importance of the moment you're in until it becomes a memory, right? And like you want this to be a good memory, not a bad one. So you better be locked in the moment that you're in.
In terms of bowl placement and how this season will be assessed at the end of the year, what is the difference between finishing with 6 versus 7?
I have no idea. It just means 6, 7. Is that what we got all this? Is that a setup? Am I supposed to just jump in on that? Yeah, I'm in the know. I got 126, 17 to 23-year-olds. So is that a setup question? I don't even know what that means, by the way. I have no idea. What that means.
Did you do it on a Wednesday Zoom a few weeks ago? Was that intentional when you did it?
It was not.
That was not?
Okay. It was absolutely not. And the only reason I knew that was my players brought that to my attention. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but I have no idea. You can ask all the people. I just win the game. We're thankful that we punched the ticket to the bowl. I mean, like you say, oh well, that ain't no big deal. Well, it's 27 years in a row, and I think the only other team, and it's 6 wins 27 years in a row, and I think the only other teams are Oklahoma, Georgia, and Ohio State. There's 135 schools, so if that was so easy to do, I mean, that's pretty crazy to have. It's not what we set out to do, but from where we were to rally back is a lot. And again, 30 times in Clemson history, out of 130 teams, they've started 1-3 or worse, and we're only the 4th team to rally back and get 6 wins. So, again, not what we set out to do, but all you can do is respond to where you are, and these guys have responded and battled, and So I have no idea where we would go. Really don't care. I'm just glad that we have an opportunity to go play in the postseason and have one more game. Find a way to win a game. But I'm proud of these guys. You look at the NFL, the Ravens started 1-5, and I think they're 6-5 now. And because they've kept playing, now they got more games. Like we're running out of games here, but I'm proud of how they have battled, and they can only play the games they got. So we just want to try to finish the very best that we can. So wherever that takes us, it takes us, and we'll show up and get ready to play and go play a worthy opponent.
You didn't give up a sack to their ends last year, and they were pretty good. Do you feel like that's a game? What made you guys so successful in protecting last year, and then do you feel like that's something that you can replicate this year?
I hope so. It's good players. Blake Miller's a really good player, just like their good players are. Tristan Lee's a really good player, just like their players are. We have good players too. They got their job done in that game. And again, we did some good things. We just didn't finish.
Obviously, it was, I don't know if it was the whole game, but Harris Sewell and Colin Sadler, when you guys went back and watched the tape, how do you feel like they played back in the
Last week?
ones? Yeah.
I thought our ones were great, both sides. Had 77 yards at the half, and explosive in the first quarter. And after that, we started moving guys around, and thought they did good.
How much of a role did last year against South Carolina, the inability to get Sellers on the ground, how much of a role did that play in your decision to make a change, defensive coordinator?